WWRR, Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, WMMZ, Berwick, Bloomsburg, Hazleton, WYCK, Plains.
Powered by Mohegan Sun Pocono.
It's the New River, 105 and 103.5.
This is Music on the Menu on the River.
Timothy, where on earth did you go?
Featuring Northeast PA's best artists.
Maybe, never mind. She can move me like the stereo, like a song on the radio. She's an angel in the morning, yeah, that's right.
And now, here's your host, Alan K. Stout.
All right, everybody. Happy Sunday night. Welcome to Music on the Menu on the River. Alan K. Stout with you as I always am. Sunday nights, 9 to 10 o'clock, bringing you regional artists doing their own original material from right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Hanging out with D.C. Taylor. D.C., good to see you, brother.
Yes, you too, Alan. How's it going?
I'm doing fabulous on this holiday weekend.
Yeah.
You know, here we are, the official kickoff of summer. And we're hanging out tonight with a guy that I consider a dear friend. We've known each other for probably half our lives now. Mitch KORNFELD from the Woodlands hanging out with us here tonight. Mitch, great to see you, man.
Hey, thanks, Al. This is a beautiful studio.
Thank you.
Very
you.
nice. DC, nice to see you.
Thank you. You too, Mitch.
On a Sunday, on a holiday Sunday, you're here? Nice.
Right.
We should be drinking. We should be doing some beers or something.
They've got a couple bars in this casino. I think it's kind of what we do.
Right.
No, but I mean, really,
This
Mitch,
is nothing here, Alan. This little drink you hear is nothing.
I feel like, you and I have grown up together, although I think some people would say we probably both still need to work on that a little bit.
Yeah.
No, but, first and foremost, we want to acknowledge, we're going to talk everything about going on at the Woodlands and the music that you've got going on there and all the cool stuff you have going on. You're now an official presenter of the show on Sunday nights, and we're proud to be working with you on Music on the Menu.
Glad to be here.
So you'll be hearing Mitch throughout the show for the next year or so, talking about what he's got going on at the Woods. But it is Memorial Day, and this is a day in our country where we not only observe those that we've lost in our lives, but particularly our fallen veterans. And we're going to play a tune in a couple seconds that kind of deals with that. But Mitch, you as someone that I know you're a South Wilkes-Barre guy, Myers High School graduate.
Myers.
Local guy, Mohawks, I've known
From halls and class day students come.
I've known some
right.
great Mohawks in my day. Do you have any veterans in your family?
The only veteran would be my grandfather, my mother's father, Meyer Corson.
Okay.
He was in the Navy, and I guess he was in the Pacific.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, during World War II.
Oh, serious.
He's one of our greatest. He passed away, but
The greatest generation.
yes. And there's a picture. I know my mother has his picture. He has all his brothers and his brother-in-laws. There was like at least 13, I think. I could be wrong with the number. They have a nice picture of all of the Coffers and Corsons who went to war, and it was really nice. And they did a big article in the paper that all the brothers and brother-in-laws went overseas.
So again, you do have military in your family,
Yes.
served in the big one, as they
Yes.
used to call it, World War II. I got a chance last summer to check out that Vietnam memorial that came through Floresville. It was here for the whole weekend,
Right.
early June, and
Moving?
very moving,
Very
incredibly moving. So we acknowledge that on this Memorial Day Sunday, and I always play this tune on this show every year, so we'll kick it off tonight. This one's Fallen by No Vacancy.
Hey, Tom Colcott, my old friend. It's really good to see you again. I heard you've been fighting over there. Now you wanna go back, man, that's rare. What did you see there? Was it frightening? Why would you want to go again? Well, he just smiled and said, "You really want keeps moving on. You were saying a message, you've got a son. Man, it looks like you and he weighs a ton. Born 1201 on the 4th of July. We regret to inform was the only reply. Now your mother's tears fall from her face until the folded flag as she walks away. Now remember what she said. Really wouldn't understand you weren't there, and I don't wanna talk about it, 'cause I have friends I left behind. Now I've got a job to do, I don't care what other people think about it. Their falling faces fill my mind. All the time, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. Daytime cold calling my old friend. It was really good to see you again. You could turn your pirouettes somewhere off in confidence, but I'm the one who never gets to see you dance that way. If there are ghosts inside this house that watch you when I'm gone, what I wouldn't give to be one of them, but I couldn't love you anymore, couldn't leave you if I tried. Another's muses envies for what I feel inside. The poets all will take the floor, the drummer slowly counts to 4. For this time on tradition, a band in no tune. I can rip and write 2 hours all night, claim words young lovers could recite. I'm gonna gather up my friends again tonight, while you dream past constellations into I couldn't love you anymore, I couldn't leave you if I tried. Another's muse is envious for what I feel inside. The poets all will take the floor, and the drummer counts from 1 to 4. For this time, modern tradition, a pen and a note
Palladino here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called Time Honored Tradition. Pete, of course, lead vocalist for the Badlees. That's a solo record that he did back around 2001. Before that, No Vacancy, a great song about our veterans called Fall. And we're hanging out here with Mitch KORNFELD on this Memorial Day weekend. Mitch, of course, the owner and operator of the Woodlands Inn and Resort in Wilkes-Barre. And, Mitch, I was thinking about it when you were coming up tonight. If you go back over the years, I think you and I have probably worked on 80 events together.
80? Is it?
We did the music series live from the Woodlands, the live music series every Wednesday for 6 or 7 years.
That was nice.
We did Concert for a Cause, Concert for Karen for 10 years.
Okay.
The things we've done with Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Alan, you made a lot of money for Concert for a Cause.
Well,
for all those causes.
We all did. I mean, it wasn't me. It was the people that supported it that came out and made it what it was. But you were such an amazing host for that event and all the things that I've worked with you on with music over the years.
We work well together, Alan.
We do. I mean, I remember the one time I was up there. I got up there around 2 o'clock in the afternoon for Concert for, I think it was Concert for Karen. It may have been the first time we worked up there. And, the event usually started around 7. I got up there like quite a few hours early to see if I could help out and get some stuff set up. And you just said, man, whatever you need, you got it.
It is.
You're a KORNFELD today. I was a KORNFELD for one day.
You're my brother.
you're my homie. And so, we do work well together. And, but you do, everybody says that about you. Everybody loves working with you, the bands. What is your philosophy at the Woodlands with music these days? I know you got lives, a lot of people are getting away from it. And you still have got it every weekend.
Well, remember when we used to do Wednesday night, we used to do all the bands.
Yeah.
And then we would do the Best Buns contest. I don't know if you remember that. Maybe you left before that.
No,
I don't think so.
I remember.
That was Wednesday nights.
I remember some of those buns.
And we used to do a lot more bands. Unfortunately or fortunately, the way you want to look at it, we're in this building. And this building, this beautiful casino, has changed the landscape of northeastern Pennsylvania when it comes to entertainment. Good for them, you know what I mean? But it's a little tough for the bars out there, and we're part of that. So if you have a band and you're trying to get people to your establishment, first of all, the band has to be good.
Yeah.
All right. And we've talked about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You need a band with charisma. Okay.
And you feel that's lacking.
I do. The UUUs. The Dead Letters, remember the Dead Letters?
Of course I do, yeah.
I can go on. Badlees.
The
Collective. They had personalities. There's always that one band that would always bring the crowd, that one band. So we would fight for those bands, and then we would get them like on the holidays, like on
Thanksgiving
Eve.
I remember those shows.
We would put that band, and then all the big shows we would.
When the Badlees had their Angelina's Coming Home CD release party.
Right.
At the Woodlands in the Grand Ballroom. This was in 96, I guess. I remember I think I emceed the show or I helped with it, but there were like 1,500 people there.
Right.
For just one band.
Yeah.
And they had a couple of openers. I think Mere Mortals were on the bill. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of charisma.
And also, there was other bars.
And good music.
And there was other bars. So they could play the Woodlands on a Friday. They could play...
they could build a following.
Yeah, Lynn's. They could play Jitterbugs, and then
Staircase.
it pitched in the staircase. So there was a breeding ground for bands. Not many.
Market Street Square, which you were involved with Tom Greco for many years.
So there was different places to play. Right now, there's not that many places.
Right. So it's harder for a band to build a following.
Sure, exactly, and also kids today rather they rather play their music or the digital music.
Yeah.
Right? They would get the whatever the apps are. They play their music, their boombox music, and then rap over it. And they don't need a band anymore. The people used to grab a guitar. They don't need a guitar anymore. They have a sample.
Come see me play on my laptop.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. So, and then if you are in a band, you have to deal with 4 personalities. Okay, so sometimes the leader of the band is more of a shrink. I bet you 90% of their time is how to manage my
maybe I should join a band.
Bandmates. Now you can have your beats and whatever, and you're a soloist, and you could have an orchestra behind you. And in reality, all you have is your phone.
Right. Well, George Wesley, towards the end of his life, he used to have the George Wesley Orchestra.
Right.
And then he basically figured I could do all this by myself, and he was looping, and he did a show up here at the casino for us at Music on the Menu Live where he played by himself. play by himself.
Right.
And so, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but yet you stick with it. If you go to the Woodlands on Friday or Saturday night and you go down to the stream side, you're going to see a good band.
Yes, I believe in bands. I still believe in bands. And when there's a band, I definitely get more people, and I call it my ring. My ring is higher.
Okay.
And in fact, if you go into our stream side band stand where we do other bands, next to it is the deck.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're coming down listening to the band, you're probably going to make a right before you leave and go on the deck. So you see it all works together. And then at the same time, we have the club.
Right.
So we have a dance club, we have live music, and we have the deck.
And you even have music on the deck sometimes.
And we have music on the deck.
I was out there last year in the fall, end of September, at happy hour on a Friday night. And there was this great duo out there. They were playing some 70s songs that I had, like I think they played Firefall, just some,
right.
I know they did. I mean, it was so great to hear just live music in that beautiful setting.
Right. But for economically, the question is, you have to pay for the band. Now, we don't charge a cover. So in most clubs, the cover charge pays for the band.
Right.
We
you
don't
got to
do
make that up at the bar.
The club, my dance club, I use that money to pay for the band. So I think of it all as one. If you're a band, if you're a bar and you only have a stage and you're putting the band there, that band better bring the people to pay the cover to pay the band.
Right.
Okay, that's how it works. And unfortunately, again, the landscaping has changed, but it's tough for bar owners and bands to
have what we used to have.
And then if you have 5 people in your band, every person in the band wants $100 to $200, right? So that's $1,000.
And they should. I mean, they're going to be there for 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
And it took them years of their life to learn that skill to get up there and play those songs for hours. So, they shouldn't be walking out of there with peanuts,
But if you want my opinion, I love bands, but the band has to have charisma. Okay, that means the front man has to go out on the stage, has to talk to the guests, and has to be and draw them in.
We're going to talk a little bit more about that because that's an interesting point, and I have some philosophies on that too, and why that may have changed over the past 15 years or so. Let's get back to some tunes here. This is a band that had some charisma. This is Panacea with a song called "Move On."
Calendar marks the day. I don't believe it. My other time gets to messing with your mind. Everything can be shifted, askew, and you may find that you never did like the road you were on. I think I could never love another the same way after loving you so long. I'm letting go. I will not hold to grudges like anchors. Cast them off and move on. Move on. So you say, and draw lines uneven. When will we learn to put our hatchets in the ground? Everything will be shifted, askew, and you may find that you never did like to lie in his arms. I think I could never love another the same way after loving you so long. I'm letting go. I will not hold to grudges like anchors. Cast them all. Go, like I told you before. Let it go. I can't take anymore. You've gotta let it go. To each his own. But I saw down bloody hands holding us to. Oh, yes,
Hey, this is Mike Miz, and you're listening to Music on the Menu with Alan K. Stout on the River.
It's a standstill on the 1 and 9, but I am in a different town. I'm thinking about that birthday on the beach. You know the frozen air's blowing strong. The summertime's come and gone. I know better things are just within my reach. But now my mind is all a mess. Can't stop thinking about the way she wore that dress. The way she moves, the way she bleeds, the way she gave the love inside her heart to me. She's a North Jersey queen. If she walked into the room right now, every hair would turn around. Her smile makes the heavens open wide. I used to hang upon her every word like a song from a hummingbird. I felt lucky when she looked into my eyes. But now my mind is in distress. Can't stop thinking about her taking on that dress. The way she moves, the way she gleams, when her big brown eyes were looking up at me. She's a North Jersey queen. So take this love and drag it down. Feels like yesterday when we own this town. So take my hand, won't you pull me up? Feels like yesterday when you stole my love. And I can see better days when the whole world shines so clean, yeah. And I spent my younger days just trying to find out what it means. She's a North Jersey queen. So take this love and drag it down. Feels like yesterday when we own this town. So take my hand, won't you pull me up? Feels like yesterday when you stole my love. She can move me like the stereo, like a song on the radio. She's an angel in the morning, yeah, that's right. She can take you to Venerio when there's nowhere you have left to go. She got what it takes to get you through the night. Now every day I'm so depressed, you know she put back on that dress and walked away. The way she moves, the way she leaves, I can still hear her talking in her sleep. She's a North Jersey queen. She's a North Jersey queen. Oh, she's a North Jersey queen. Yeah, she's a North Jersey queen. Oh, sha-la-la-la, 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 sha-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la, sha-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la, na-na-na, sha-la-la, sha-la-la-la, sha-la-la, na-na-na-na-na, sha-la-la,
Miz here on Music on the Menu on the River with a song called North Jersey Queen. And before that, Panacea with a song called Move On. We're hanging out here tonight with Mitch KORNFELD, owner and operator of the Woodlands, who are now a proud sponsor of Music on the Menu here on the River. And Mitch, we're talking a little bit before we got to those tunes about music and, you know, artists that have charisma and how you feel that's so important in building an audience for clubs.
Right.
You know, we were talking before we got on the air here tonight having a similar conversation, I remember a lot of people know I'm a big Kiss fan. And I don't think there's ever been anybody on a concert stage more charisma than Paul Stanley. I mean, he's often considered one of the greatest frontmen in the history of rock and roll. I read so many books about that band.
Better Paul than Gene?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the Paul Stanley show if you go to a concert. I mean, he really is. But he said that when they were starting out in like 73, they used to play this bar out in Long Island called the Coventry. And he basically said, the only people that were there were basically our girlfriends and the bartender and the bouncer and maybe 3 or 4 people. They'd be playing to 10 people. But he said, we went out and we acted like it was Madison Square Garden.
That's what you have to do.
And 3 years later, where were they playing?
Madison Square
Garden. And so, there used to be that kind of mentality, back at the Whiskey, back in L.A., back in the 80s when all those metal bands were coming up, that there was this, I saw the Badlees do that at Market Street Square and at Jitterbugs back in the 90s. They would come out and there was an incredible sense of charisma with original bands, with cover bands. I think that maybe grunge in the 90s may have had something to do with that waning. I never really talked about it before, but the music was wonderful, but like the Kurt Cobains, they were sort of the anti-entertainers. They didn't want the record deal. They didn't want to be famous, even though they signed the record deal and made the videos. Crazy. And so I think you have some artists now that grew up with that mentality, that they didn't grow up with Freddie Mercury or Paul Stanley or Mick Jagger.
As an owner, a club owner, I would rather a mediocre band, but a guy who has charisma, than a well-oiled band. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't care if you screw up a couple chords. You know what I mean? But if you can connect with an audience, then
grab them.
Grab them. I don't
have
literally
them go tell their friends. Oh my gosh, you got to go see this band. What a time we had.
I don't care if he grabs a girl from the audience, even a guy, brings them on stage and plays with them and like have fun with them.
I remember the first, you mentioned you before. I remember the first time I ever saw Eric Klein. It was at Market Street, around 95, and Tom Greco was managing the bar at the time, and I was walking out and he was walking in, and I said, Tom, you got to check this out, what you got going on in here. Right. This is pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, this is going to be, and it exploded. Right. So yeah, people pay attention to that. We're going to take a quick break now, but when we come back, we're going to be hanging out more with Mitch KORNFELD from the Woodlands.
Hi, this is Mitch KORNFELD from the Woodlands Inn and Resort. Summer weather is finally here, so treat yourself and take a time out on life. You deserve a staycation right here in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. The Woodlands is less than a mile from the casino and is minutes from all the natural beauty northeastern Pennsylvania is famous for. Pack a small suitcase and drive less than an hour and enjoy first-class amenities and second-to-none service that the Woodlands offers. Enjoy 2 restaurants, Japanese Shogun and Crescenzo's Pizza Bar. Dance the night away at our famous Evolution nightclub or listen to live music at the Streamside Bandstand. Close your eyes on the Skyview Deck Bar and listen to the sounds of our breathtaking waterfall. Check out our website, thewoodlandsresort.com, for a great room package. Listen, summer's finally here and you deserve to chill, so come on down to the Woodlands in Wilkes-Barre. Eat, drink, dance, and play at the casino. We have a staycation waiting for you.
All right, we're back here on Music on the Menu on the River. Listen, it's Memorial Day weekend. We talked about it at the top of the show. I'm going to play a couple songs now from a couple of the people that we've lost here in music. One from George Wesley, who I know you did a lot of work with, Mitch, and Rick Manwiller from Dakota on Memorial Day weekend. And certainly 2 guys that had quite a bit of charisma themselves. Check it out.
What you like all night, do what you like if I make you feel right. Do what you like all night, do what you like until the broad daylight. Do what you like all night, do what you like if I make you feel right. Do what you like all night, do what you like until the broad daylight. Do what you like, me come around dance hall. Do what you like, me come for rock you all. I say do what you like, me come around dance hall. Do what you like, me come for rock you all. I say do what you like all night. Do what you like if I make you feel right. Do what you like all night. Do what you like until the broad daylight. Do what you like all you like all night. Do what you like until the broad daylight. Just do it. Money with it two for the show. Three to get ready with it. Four to go with it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, come on, everybody, say me just can't wait because it's 9, 10. Let's do it again. Hey, we gotta get together just to rock it as friends. Cause it's the invitation and the dance hall tonight. I'll play this reggae music, so do what you like. Do what you like all night. Do what you like. If I make it feel right. Do what you like all night. Do what you like until the broad daylight. Do what you like all night. Do what you like if I make it feel right. Do what you like all night. Do what you like until the broad daylight. Just do it. For the money with it, two for the show. Three to get ready with it. Four to go with it. 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, come on, everybody, say we just can't wait because it's 9, 10. Let's do it again. Hey, we're gonna get together just to rock it as friends. But it's the invitation and the dance hall tonight. Come on, play this reggae music, so do what you like. Say, do what you like all night. Do what you like if I make it feel right. Do what you like all night. Do what you like until the broad daylight. Do what you like all night. Do what you like if I make it feel right. Do what you like all night. Do what you like until the broad daylight. Just do it.
She was hiding at the high school dance in her sister's hand-me-downs. He was looking for distraction when he saw her turn around. So he asked her for a dance or two, and he pulled her across the gym. And she stumbled nearly every dance as she tried to follow him. She said, I must tell you the truth. That dancing I was doing there with you was the best that I could do. From the wedding day the bad luck came. They were always in the red. He was distant, even angry, but she blamed herself instead. And on the anniversary she found out he'd been with someone new. So she sat him down to talk it out, but she took the blame there too. She said, you must tell me the truth. But if making love with me was second best, it was the best that I could do. Accepting all blame, all for the privilege of sharing his name. Now she's lying on her final bed, and her eyes are growing dim. 2 years now with the illness, but 68 with him. And he holds her hand and asks her in a shaky, worried voice, out of all the men you could have picked, do you regret your choice? To have and to hold until death. No, her very first complaint would not be her last breath. And so she could not tell him the truth. And she said, this life that I am leaving now with you, it was the best that I could do.
Rick Manwiller here on Music on the Menu on the River, a song called The Best That I Could Do. And before that, George Wesley, the song called Do What You Like, playing those both on Memorial Day weekend in memory of both those talented musicians. And we're hanging out here with Mitch KORNFELD. And, you know, I was thinking about some of the stories that you've told me over the years about the Woodlands, Mitch. And I remember, I guess it was maybe 2004 during the election, President Bush stayed at the Woodlands.
Was it 2004?
I think it was when he was campaigning in 2004 for his second term.
He was at Madison Square Garden. He accepted the nomination, the Republican nomination, and 8 hours later, there was 8 black suburban cars, or whatever, SUVs that stormed in, and there he was.
And he was he wasn't running for president. He was the seated president of the United States.
He was the president of the United States.
And he stays at the Woodlands. And you told me that when he was leaving the next morning, he couldn't have been any nicer. I mean, he was
very nice.
He asked if it was a family business.
Yes.
And he talked to.
He wanted some advice. I said, please. I said, President, it's none of my business. No, but he did. And you know, the great part is, the whole press corps stayed with us. We have 150 rooms, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Was that a plug? I think that was a plug. But they took probably 70 of the rooms, and it was a nice piece of business.
A lot of security.
A lot of security.
They come in early, sweep the place.
They were there
and all
for
that.
a week. They scanned the place.
Unbelievable.
In fact, we have a beautiful, you know, the stream is one of the backdrops, and it's lit up. One of the stipulations was they had to turn all the lights off at the stream because they wanted only night vision.
Interesting.
Security.
I'm always fascinated by that Secret Service stuff. I've heard, like, when he was at the Kirby, like, Drew told me that they came in for 3 days early with dogs.
Yep, they do.
All that.
Yeah.
Fascinating. In fact, Drew said, would the president like any water? Because he was going to get him some bottled water.
Right.
And the guy said, you will give the president nothing to eat or drink.
Yeah, that is true. In fact, the Sweet and Low had all the Sweet and Low and the sugars all had the White House on it.
Well, in talking about Memorial Day too, obviously his father, George H.W. Bush, served in World War in the Pacific as well.
Yes.
Well, maybe
he knew my grandfather.
Maybe he knew your grandfather. Here's a brand new track from Dustin Douglas and the Electric Gentleman. This one's called Ain't No Denying.
Ain't no denying the world has gone flying. Tell me now what we're gonna do. We gotta stand together in any kind of weather. And yeah, you know that we will pull through. Yeah, we gonna pull through. I know you don't believe it, but we all can see it. Defeating us, deception by the spoon. Yeah, we're gonna come together and work for the better. Yeah, you know that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Promises we made in vain. I've seen our seasons change. And when you tried reaching out to me, I couldn't feel your pain. Too young to see that it was all on the line. Tomorrow seems so far away. If I knew then I'd be a better man today. We couldn't lose if we didn't love like that. If we never done the things that we can't
can't take that. And all the broken pieces scattered on the tracks. You'd never lose if we didn't love like that.
As is here on Music on the Menu on the River, a song called Love Like That. And before that, brand new music from Dustin Douglas and the Electric Gentleman, a song called Ain't No Denying. And they will be with us with The Weekender, our good friends, here at Music on the Menu Live, coming up next Tuesday at Breakers. So we'll be talking a lot more about that next Sunday night on the show. We're going to take a quick break now. But when we get back, we'll have more hanging out here with Mitch Kornfeld from the Woodlands.
Hi, this is Mitch Kornfeld from the Woodlands Inn and Resort. Summer weather is finally here, so treat yourself and take a time out on life. You deserve a staycation right here in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. The Woodlands is less than a mile from the casino and is minutes from all the natural beauty northeastern Pennsylvania is famous for. Pack a small suitcase and drive less than an hour and enjoy first-class amenities and second-to-none service that the Woodlands offers. Enjoy 2 restaurants, Japanese Shogun and Crescenzo's Pizza Bar. Dance the night away at our famous Evolution nightclub or listen to live music at the Streamside Bandstand. Close your eyes on the Skyview Deck Bar and listen to the sounds of our breathtaking waterfall. Check out our website, thewoodlandsresort.com, for a great room package. Listen, summer's finally here and you deserve to chill, so come on down to the Woodlands in Wilkes-Barre. Eat, drink, dance, and play at the casino. We have a staycation waiting for you.
All right, we're back here on Music on the Menu on the River, hanging out with Mitch Kornfeld from the Woodlands, a sponsor now of Music on the Menu on Sunday night. So you'll be hearing Mitch throughout the year talking about what he has going on at the Woodlands, which, as you know, Mitch, has always been really one of my favorite places in northeastern Pennsylvania.
Yes, thank you.
This is probably the longest that I've ever sat next to you, an hour without a gin and tonic in my hand. So maybe we will.
You want me to get you one?
Well, yeah, we'll hit the Bar Louie right down the hallway here.
Are there always like 20 girls, beautiful girls in the studio like this? Unbelievable. Hi, ladies. How are you?
I tell you.
How are you? Yeah, DC. Yeah, he's right here.
Can't concentrate.
Yeah,
we have a following. I'll tell you.
It's beautiful. How are you? Nice to see you.
It's like the Woodlands. No, but Mitch, I was thinking about some of the funny stories that I have to tell this story because we were doing Concert for a Cause one year, and we used to have a meeting every year where we talked about what we wanted to do. And I think it was Concert for a Cause 6, and the event had gotten to be really, really big in town. It was, well over 1,000 people or 1,500 people came to see these bands every year. And Mitch said to me, "Anything you need, Al?" He calls me Al. "Anything you want?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I want a skylight." And you're like, "A skylight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I want a skylight. I want a skylight on top of the Woodlands. I want everybody within 100 miles of this place to know Concert for a Cause is going on tonight." I kind of forgot about it, to be honest with you. Show up that night at the Woodlands. There's a skylight on top of the Woodlands.
You see? Right? You want it? It's there.
Incredible.
It's like Batman.
Yeah, it's like CFC in the clouds.
There it is.
So, I mean, this is the kind of guy. He's a charitable guy. I know you do work with the Wyoming Valley Children's Association, Big Brothers Big Sisters, the JCC.
Right.
You're out there. It's a lot more than just a big party for you. You're a good man.
You know why I can do it? Because I have a great staff at the Woodlands, and it's the #1 staff. And without them, I'm nothing.
And I could attest to that too. And it's another Concert for a Cause story. But I used to stay over because we didn't get done with the concert till 3 a.m. by the time we were done with all of the work, and so I would just stay over. And the place always looked like a bomb hit it. I mean, you just had 38 bands and 1,500 people. And I would sometimes wake up 8 o'clock the next morning, and I'm walking down the hallway, and the soft jazz music is playing.
All cleaned up.
And there's some breakfast going on in the same room, already set up with, these executives talking with PowerPoint presentations. Yeah. And you would not have any idea what had happened in that bar 5-6 hours earlier, or in that facility, I should say. I mean, the staff's amazing.
Yep, it is. It's all about team. It's all about team.
You had a great team there.
Just like this team right here. You guys do a great job.
Well,
it was a pleasure being here.
We welcome you to the Bold Gold team. And I know you like to promote on Twitter, too. That's where you tweet a lot about what's going on at the Woodlands. So what's your handle on Twitter?
Good question. Mitch Kornfeld on Twitter.
Find Mitch Kornfeld.
I don't know. Just
find
Google
Mitch Kornfeld on Twitter and follow him because he tweets all the time about. I don't follow many people on Twitter, but I get your tweets.
Do you follow? That's nice.
Yeah, I know what you got.
I wish I knew what I was doing.
You're really good with the social media. So follow him on Facebook, follow him on Twitter. and hang out at the Woodlands. You got the Weekender up there on Friday nights again.
Right.
Good
and
stuff.
what a weekend we had. It was a great Memorial Day weekend. I want to thank everybody who did show up.
Yeah, terrific weekend at the Woodlands as always.
Right.
We're leaving now, as I always do, with the Badlees, and I thought this would be perfect to close with because it was the opening track on the Concert for a Cause 8 CD, which benefited the United Way Veterans Programs. And, of course, it was an event that we did at the Woodlands. This is Drive Back Home from the Badlees, originally inspired by the idea of a veteran coming home. We'll catch you next week.
Took a ride up through the mountains to the edge of my hometown. Made me feel just like an angel looking down. All the places I remember, all the people still the same. All the things I ran away from that remain. All my life is like a drive back home. Can't you hear me singing? Can't you hear me singing? All my life is like a drive back home. And I know why. Leaves were falling in the graveyard where my grandmother's body lies. And I swear I heard her sing that she cried. All my life is like a drive back home. Can't you hear me singing? Can't you hear me singing? All my life is like a drive back home. And I know why. There ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. There ain't nowhere that you can run to. There ain't nowhere that you can go. They say that nothing lasts forever. They say that all will be in vain. But I say that struggle is the thunder. Love is rain. And there may not be forgiveness for all the things I've done, but I'm still my mother's child, my father's son, son.